Imagine you're standing at the edge of this massive pool, and in this pool there are 2 billion people.
Hmm.
They're active, they're engaged, checking their phones something like 80 times a day. You have a product, a service, and, well, you want to jump in. That pool, of course, is WhatsApp.
It's the absolute holy grail of digital reach. I mean, it is the most intimate channel on the planet.
Right. But then you start to hear the whispers, you hear about the costs and these, horror stories about businesses getting banned, losing their numbers forever.
Oh, yeah.
And then you hear the rumor, the one that arguably started it all, you can do it for free.
Which is usually the moment right before a business makes a very, very expensive mistake.
Exactly. So our mission for this deep dive is to look at the technical documentation, the 2024 pricing sheets from Meta, which are fascinatingly complex, and some really dense case studies to answer one question.
Can you actually unlock the power of the WhatsApp Business API without going broke?
And are we going to find that while free is a dangerous myth, cheap is a very interesting reality?
It is, yeah, if you know how to engineer it properly.
So let's start with that urban legend. Because I talk to business owners all the time who say, look, I have WhatsApp on my phone. I message my clients. It costs me $0. Why is everyone talking about APIs and pricing?
That is the fundamental confusion. That's what gets people into trouble. We have to draw a hard line in the sand between the app and the platform.
Okay.
They share a name, but they're completely different beasts.
So draw that line for us. What is the app?
The WhatsApp Business app is what, your local bakery is using. It's an icon on a phone.
Okay.
It's designed for a human being with 2 thumbs typing out, "Hey, your sourdough is ready." And that part is legitimately free.
But it has a hard ceiling. It's totally manual.
It's manual, so if you want to scale, you're limited by how fast you can type.
Right.
You can't integrate it with your inventory system automatically. You can't have 20 support agents on the same number without some janky workaround.
And you definitely can't automate it.
No. If you try to send a message to 5,000 people saying, "Our winter sale is live," and you do that on the app,
My thumbs would fall off.
well, before they fell off, you'd get blocked for spamming.
Yeah.
The app relies on broadcast lists, and if people haven't saved your number, they don't even get the message. It's strictly for small-scale manual interaction.
Which brings us to the platform, the API, the industrial-grade version.
Precisely. API stands for Application Programming Interface. It's not an app you download. Think of it more like a pipe.
A pipe.
Yeah, it connects WhatsApp's infrastructure directly to your business software, your CRM, your support tools, your bots. This is where the magic happens,
Yeah.
where you can automate millions of messages.
And also where the free myth completely falls apart.
It shatters, yeah.
But where did the myth even come from? I mean, these rumors usually have a tiny grain of truth.
They do. And in this case, the rumor actually comes from Meta's own documentation. They have something called a sandbox.
A sandbox, like
Yeah.
a playground for developers.
Exactly like a developer's playground. When your tech team is building the integration, they need to test it, right?
Sure.
They need to see if the bot actually replies when you say hello. So Meta lets you do all of that in the sandbox environment, completely for free.
Ah, I see what happened.
You get a test number, you can message a few verified test users, usually your own developers in the same room, and it costs nothing.
So a developer sets this up, shows the boss a demo, the boss sees the invoice is $0 and thinks, we've hacked the system, we're automating for free.
Precisely. But the moment you move from sandbox to production,
When you start messaging real customers.
exactly, you are leaving the playground and entering the marketplace. And the marketplace has a price tag.
Okay, let's talk about that price tag, because I think a lot of people expect it to be like an old school SMS plan, 10 cents a text or something.
It's much more sophisticated now. Meta doesn't charge per message. They charge per conversation.
And how is a conversation defined?
A 24-hour window. This is the most critical concept to understand if you want to save money.
Okay.
Once a conversation is opened, you can send one message or 50 messages back and forth in that 24-hour period. You're only charged once.
Wow, that's a huge shift from SMS. With SMS, a long chat costs you for every single message. Here, it's like an all-you-can-eat buffet for 24 hours.
It is, but here's the catch. The price of that ticket to the buffet depends entirely on why you're there.
The intent.
The intent. In the 2024 pricing structure, Meta breaks this down into 3 main categories: utility, authentication, and marketing. And the price difference, it's massive.
Let's break those down, because this feels like where the budget lives or dies. Start with utility.
Utility is the boring stuff. Here's your receipt, your package is shipped, your appointment is confirmed.
The stuff I actually want to receive. I'm never annoyed by a shipping notification.
Exactly. And because Meta knows users want these messages, they price them very, very low. In the US, a utility conversation costs roughly 0.0000055
It's like half a penny.
a little over half a penny. And in Mexico, it's even lower, around 0.0000422.
Okay, that's basically negligible. If I have 1,000 customers and I send them an order update, I'm spending $5. That's nothing.
Correct. Then you have authentication. That's for one-time passwords, account recovery, that sort of thing. It's mid-range. But then we get to the big one, marketing.
The buy my stuff category.
Yep. Promotions, offers, we miss you, check out our new collection. Anything that drives sales is marketing. And Meta taxes this heavily.
How heavy is the tax? Give me a comparison.
Okay, let's look at Brazil. It's a huge WhatsApp market. A marketing conversation there costs around 0.085.
Wait, 8.5 cents?
Yes.
So compared to that utility message in Mexico, which was fractions of a cent, that is a massive multiple.
It's an order of magnitude difference. It can be nearly 20 times more expensive.
But why? Why punish marketing? Usually platforms want you to advertise on them.
Because they're protecting the asset. Meta knows that if WhatsApp becomes another spam folder, people will stop using it.
So they put a nuisance tax on it.
That's a great way to put it, a nuisance tax. If you want to interrupt someone's day to sell them something, you have to pay a premium for that privilege.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. It's an economic filter for quality. If you have to pay almost 9 cents to send a message, you're going to make sure it's a good one.
Exactly. And this whole pricing structure has forced smart businesses to get really creative. And this is where we get into the hacking part of this. Not hacking code, but hacking the economics of it.
The utility pivot, I loved this part of the research. It sounds like a basketball move.
It's a financial pivot. So we've got this case study from an e-commerce company in Argentina. They were doing what everyone does, blasting out marketing messages, new shoes in stock, 20% off, that kind of thing.
And just bleeding money on API costs.
Bleeding money. Because they were paying that premium marketing rate on every single chat. So they analyzed the pricing sheet and realized they needed to change the category of their conversations.
So they stopped the cold marketing blasts.
Entirely. Instead, they focus on the post-purchase experience and the almost purchase.
Like cart recovery.
Right. But it's about how you frame it. If you focus on shipping notifications, which are pure utility, you change the cost basis completely.
Okay, but how does a shipping notification sell more shoes?
It keeps the channel open. By sending a shipping update, which costs pennies, the customer feels taken care of. They might reply, thanks, or when will it get here?
And boom, the customer just replied to you.
That's the golden ticket. We call it the 24-hour rule or the service window. If a user messages you or replies to you, it opens up a window where you can communicate much more freely without initiating a new, expensive conversation.
So the strategy isn't how do I send cheap ads, it's how do I get the customer to talk to me first?
Exactly that. The Argentine company focused on utility and helpful reminders. By cutting out the cold blasts, they reduced their conversation costs by 70%.
70%, that's huge. And I assume their customer engagement didn't drop.
It actually went up. Because people like knowing where their package is. They don't like being yelled at to buy things.
It's like using the pricing structure as a guide for good behavior. Be helpful, save money.
It's a rare alignment of incentives, isn't it?
It is. Usually the cheapest way to market is the most annoying.
True. But here, the platform is actively fining you for being annoying.
Okay, I want to pivot to the infrastructure because this is a deep dive. We need to look under the hood. We've talked about what you pay Meta, but you can't just, send Mark Zuckerberg a check and get API access.
No, you can't. And this is the hidden cost that trips a lot of people up. The ecosystem is gated. To access the platform, you generally need to go through a BSP.
A business solution provider. The middlemen.
The middlemen. But they're necessary. Companies like Twilio, Zendio, Wadi, 360 Dialogue. Meta outsources the connection to them because they don't want to handle customer support for 10 million small businesses.
And I'm guessing the BSPs don't work for free either.
Definitely not. And their pricing models vary wildly, which adds this whole other layer of complexity. If you pick the wrong one, you could easily double your costs.
Okay, so break that down. I see names like Twilio and 360 Dialogue a lot. What's the real difference?
So a giant like Twilio is great for developers. They're sort of the standard. They give you a free tier, some credits to get you hooked. But their model is often a markup.
A markup?
Yes. If Meta charges half a cent for a message Twilio might charge a little bit on top of that per message to cover their service. You're paying Meta's fee plus a Coolio tax.
Which could add up really fast if you're sending millions of messages.
Super fast.
Yeah.
Then you have providers like 360 Dialogue, which the developer community often points to as the low-cost option. Their model is different. They tend to charge a flat monthly fee for access, for the license, and then they pass Meta's fees directly to you. No markup.
So it's a volume game. High volume, you want the flat fee. Low volume, maybe the markup model is safer?
Generally, yes. You have to do the math. But that's just the access. We haven't even talked about the brain.
The brain.
The API is just a dumb pipe.
Right.
It sends data back and forth. It doesn't know what to say. You need a brain to tell it, when the customer says pizza, reply with the menu.
Ah, the bot logic. The thing that makes it smart.
Right. And that logic lives on a server. You have to pay for that server. You have to pay the developer who wrote the code. You have to pay for the database.
So the real cost of the API is Meta's fee plus the BSP's fee plus your server costs plus your developer's salary.
Exactly. Even if Meta made every message free tomorrow, you would still have an operational bill to keep the system running.
Which begs the question, why bother? I can open MailChimp right now, send 10,000 emails, and it's super cheap. Why go through all this headache for WhatsApp?
One brutal statistic, open rates.
Hit me with it.
In email marketing, if you are a superstar, absolute best in class, you might get a 20% open rate.
So 80% of your effort is just gone.
Digital landfill, yeah. Now, WhatsApp,
What is it?
98%.
That doesn't even sound real. 98.
It's effectively everyone. If you send a WhatsApp message, it gets read. It pops up on their lock screen. It vibrates in their pocket. You aren't just paying for delivery, you're paying for attention.
I remember that coffee analogy from the source material. That really puts it in perspective.
Yes, the coffee analogy. Think about your morning latte. Cost what, $5-6?
Way too much, but yeah.
For the price of that one coffee, you can have hundreds, literally hundreds of high-quality, automated utility interactions with your customers. You can tell 500 people their order shipped. You can resolve 200 support queries without a human agent.
When you frame it like that, replacing a $15 an hour support agent with a half-cent message, the ROI is almost infinite.
That's the calculation. It's not about the cost being zero. It's about the cost being trivial compared to the value of the relationship and the time you're saving.
But we have to play devil's advocate. It's not all sunshine and ROI. There's a risk factor here that doesn't exist with email. If I spam on email, I go to a junk folder. If I spam on WhatsApp,
You face the ban hammer.
that sounds dramatic.
It is dramatic. It's often fatal for the account. Meta monitors your quality rating. It's like a traffic light system, green, yellow, red.
And how do you get to red?
You send messages people didn't ask for. It's that simple. If users block you or report you, your score tanks. If it drops too low, Meta throttles you. They limit how many messages you can send. And if you don't fix it
They block the number.
permanently, and since that number is tied to your brand, you lose the channel. You can't just spin up a new API key in 5 minutes. It's a whole verification process. The operational risk is really high.
It really seems like every part of this ecosystem, the pricing, the ban hammer, the structure, it's all designed to force businesses to act like human beings.
That is the core design philosophy. They are terrified of WhatsApp becoming the new email. They want to keep it clean.
So let's wrap this up with some practical advice. For the listener, maybe running a small flower shop and they're thinking, do I need this API? Do I need a BSP and a server? What's the verdict?
If you are that local florist, honestly,
Yeah?
stay small. Use the free WhatsApp business app.
The manual one.
Yep. If you can handle the message volume with your own two thumbs, don't overcomplicate it. The API is for when you hit a breaking point, when you physically cannot type fast enough anymore.
And for the larger business that's looking to scale,
Stop looking for free. Free is a trap.
Huh?
Look for utility. Look for the parts of your customer journey where a simple notification solves a problem. Focus your budget there.
and avoid the temptation to just use it as a megaphone for ads.
Use it as a concierge, not a billboard. That's where the ROI lives.
It's fascinating. We started this deep dive looking for a way to hack the system for free, and we ended up finding that the real hack is just being a better, more helpful business.
Funny how that works, isn't it?
It leaves me with a final thought, though. We're seeing this shift where the most powerful communication tool on the planet is taxing spam and subsidizing helpfulness. If this model works, does it change how we think about marketing entirely? Are we moving toward a world where being annoying is simply too expensive to be a viable business model?
That is the hope. Economic pressure, creating better etiquette.
I like that. A tax on bad manners.
Exactly.
Something to think about.
Thanks for diving deep with us today.
Thank you.
We'll see you on the next deep dive.